So it has been a very long time since I last played World Tank Splits on my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be playing on my Asia account. As you can see, I've got a very different roster of tanks. One good thing about this account is that I've got the premium tanks that I actually enjoy. So for example, the Skoda T56, which we will be playing in today. Also, the Skoda T27 is also a very good tank. I might make a video on this later. Overall, I'd say that my Asia account is probably a lot better than my EU account. I mean, just by looking at the win rate alone, you can see why I enjoy playing on my Asia account compared to my EU account. Anyway, back to the main focus of today's video. I'm going to be playing in the Skoda T56 today, and I'll show you guys what this tank is capable of doing. Stats wise, I have to say that the Skoda T56 is actually quite enjoyable to play in terms of how reliable it is. So first of all, if you're using the provisions and equipments that I'm running, you'll have 1908 hit points for this tank. I'm not going to show you guys the 3D model of this tank because you'll see in game later on. You'll see in a moment why I think this tank is probably one of the better tanks in tier 8 in terms of the heavy class. So first of all, it deals 450 damage per shot with a 14.3 seconds reload time if you're running the equipments that I'm running right now. And its penetration is 268 for the premium and 215 for the standard. Of course, you can run calibrated shells to get it up to 295, which I do recommend if you feel like your playstyle is less aggressive than the one that I have, because personally I like to play this tank very frontline and just take shells from my teammates, and having a quicker reload time sometimes helps more than having more penetration. But of course, I'm not saying that you shouldn't run calibrated shells on the Skoda T56, because I think both equipments work just as well. But I guess you can argue that if you're playing against tier 9 heavies, then yeah, maybe you would want to have calibrated shells. The dispersion is 0.389 and the aiming time is 5.5 seconds, which probably makes this tank the most inaccurate gun in tier 8. I might be wrong, I'm probably wrong, but one thing to keep in mind is that your HE has an alpha damage of 640, meaning that you can slap enemies very hard if you manage to get to their sides or rear. And I feel like knowing when to capitalize on using the HE shell on this vehicle is also one thing that you need to keep in mind if you want to win more games. Mobility wise, its top speed is 35 kilometers per hour, but because of how I'm running gear oil, its top speed is actually 39. In general, I'd say that the Skoda T56 is a very solid heavy tank in tier 8. I'll show you guys the stats that I've got on this tank and you'll understand how broken this tank is. Almost 100 battles played in this tank already, and I'm sitting at a 76% win rate. And so you can see why this tank is such a decent tank. First battle, we're playing on Desert Sands, I think this map is called, I'm not too sure. But as you can see, if you're playing in a town map like this, what you want to do is go to the town side, of course, side scrape, and you'll want to just help your heavies take the shots, because I think most of the times you're going to be the heavy with the most HP, if I'm not wrong. I mean, the 53 TP has the same health as me, but just look at it. I've got more health than the Tiger 2, which means that you should use your hit points in a heavy tank, of course, but in this heavy tank you would want to utilize it even more because of how most of the times you're going to have a lot more hit points than your teammates. And as you can see here, my Tiger 2 is doing some random things, and I'm so happy that he didn't get penetrated. I'm not sure whether he got shot by the Smasher or not, but I'm just going to assume that he did and poke the Smasher. Let's see whether the Smasher pens me or not. I don't think that's going to be the case. There we go. And let's see, the Cheesy, I don't think he is poking my... Okay, he is poking my teammate. I'm gonna get another shell into the Smasher because I hate playing against them. I'm gonna put on my Adrenaline. I'm gonna try and get into a face-up position. Oh, he did pen my hatch, but okay, it is what it is. I'm not sure whether my team is gonna win this game, but I'm just gonna get another shell into him. And let's see, okay, he is taken out. All that remains is the Shisei, and okay, in this situation, if I was running calibrated shells, I would have probably been able to penetrate an HE, but it is what it is. Okay, another shell into the Shisei, and the Tiger 2 on the enemy team is going to start aggressing on us. I think the thing that we want to do right now is just pressure the Tiger 2, because if we don't pressure, we're going to lose this game. And there's a TNH over there. I'm just going to get a quick shell into him. Never mind. As you can see, the dispersion on this tank is not that great, and from time to time you'll miss easy shells just like that, but it's not really that big of a problem. Alright, I'm just sort of distracting this TNH, but I would like my tanks to just pressure that Tiger 2 a bit more. Nice shell, and I think I'm going to back up. I'm going to let the Semifente deal the damage to the TNH, and if possible I would like to get a shell into him as well, but it doesn't seem like that is the case. Alright, let's try and clear the tanks over this side. If not, at least, you know, take off the pressure. Alright, let's just aim this in. There we go. Okay. Although I might have not the most hit points in the game, I think we can still make this game, you know, a victory. As long as we don't get shot by that semi-offensive. Okay, he fired. I'm just gonna poke because he's running the 400 damage gun. Nice 417. And the Tiger 2 is dealing with TNH over there. And I think what I'm gonna do is deal with the semi-offensive because I can't really ignore him, if that makes sense. I'm gonna just turn my tank, try and get into a side scrape position. Oh, okay, it is what it is. This game, I'd say I did quite decent, to be honest. I did 3k damage, and if my team had just pushed a bit more harder with me, we might have gotten a win. I'm not too sure. But we'll go to the next game and I'll show you guys what this tank can actually do. I have to say, last game I did an oopsies by side scraping against that Semavente, which I think has a very, very ridiculous amount of standard pen, which is why I got cleared there at the very end of the battle. But I think, other than that mistake, I didn't make any other, you know, very, very big mistakes. And I don't think I'm the main reason why we lost that game, as, you know, I did over 3k damage. And let's see. I'm very tempted to go medium side, but I'm not too sure what my teammates would like to do, because if our team splits like last game and we don't do a good job by pressuring the enemies who are also split, I think we're gonna end up with a lose, to be honest. Our lineup isn't the best and our ISU is already shot and he got blind fired. Actually, that's very, very unfortunate, but it is what it is. But one good thing is that I think all of our teammates are not going to camp and they're just going to help the T49. And if the T49 can get some spots in, I think our, well, free TDs apparently, yeah, they can probably just absolutely annihilate one of their enemy tanks. So we have the AMX 1375 in front of me and the T49 isn't backing up. So, okay, hopefully he retreats and, you know, just keep on spotting and not dying straight away. If I was the T49 right now in this situation, I would back up to this hill and spot from here because there's no reason for him to, well, poke. He's gonna get slapped very, very hard if he gets spotted. So, yep, look at that. He's lucky that he didn't get hit, but alright. Oh, and the Semafenti got absolutely nuked by the ISU and is dead. Okay, so I guess the smasher at the back of the map isn't the worst play if you're playing against, you know, teams like this. And I don't think my aim is good enough to hit that, so I'm just gonna stay here. It's very, very likely that there's still another tank in that bush. Yep, I wasn't incorrect. And okay, I don't want to poke this now. In fact, I'm gonna rotate back to the position that I was in just now, because I think if you look at the mini map, there's an AT-15 in the middle of the map, and I would like to use my hit points. I would like to get the enemies to shoot me instead of my Tiger 2 or my, well, definitely not my T-49, who's probably going to die in one shot. So, alright, let's hope that we don't get shot from this crossing. That's great. And let's see, 8 degrees should be enough to shoot at this AT, hopefully. If we spot him, that is. Okay, it is. Load the premium shell. There we go, 425. And now the 45 TP will have a much easier time dealing with the AT-15. I mean, he's in a very, very bad situation in terms of the way that he positioned his tank. He's in a big crossfire, and if the T-49, you know, hadn't of, you know, lost all of his HP, this AT-15 would have been pressured very, very long time ago. I'm just gonna lower premium shot because I don't trust myself. There we go for what? 318. Okay, that's a very, very big lower, but I am tempted to just leave the AT, but at the same time, it's not like they're gonna, as in the rest of their enemy team, they're not gonna push on us that quickly. It seems like they're playing a bit passive, so it should be fine. I'm not too sure. I can't really. Alright, let's try. Nice, 453. And the AT is taken out. Nice. And okay, our T49 is also taken out. I'm just gonna rotate back, even though we have, you know, most of our hit points back towards spawn. Okay, I got very, very lucky here. Let me just wait until I get unspotted because I don't want to get shot again. It'd be great if the M4 can, like that. Nice 500 roll, actually. And I'm just gonna play this a little bit more passive and be a bit more aware, as in like situational aware of my surroundings, because I got spotted, which means I'm most likely gonna take a shot from the not from the RSM. Okay, so they've got an AMX left, and from where we got shot last, oh, he rotated out. Okay, so the RSM is probably alone at that side. in this case, I'm just going to ignore him and just push on this Effacé, because I think in this situation it's probably going to be a win, and so I would want to capitalize on this guaranteed win in some sense and just get as much damage out as possible. And okay, please don't block me. Okay, I'm gonna just go wide because I don't want to stay in that position. I might get crossfired out by, I don't know, if their tanks rotate towards here, they'll be able to shoot me, and because of how I'm a big tank, quite a boxy tank at that, I think the best thing for me to do is just sort of give this Effacé a very, very bad time by putting him in a crossfire. Okay, what are these low rolls? My average damage is 450 if I'm not wrong, and I'm getting 363 damage rolls with my standard. Okay, he bounces me, and okay, in this situation, calibrated shells is probably better, but oh, okay, yeah, that was on me. That was a very bad shot, but he's dead, and there we go. I think I just wasted my adrenaline, but it is what it is. Alright, so I think the rest of their teams, as in like the two remaining tanks, are both here. I think at least the AMX was there, and you know, worst case scenario, we can always just excuse me, we can always just cap, but it seems like the Tiger 2 is AFK, which is nice because I'll be able to get a bit more damage out. Not from this position though, probably, because I'll need to load a gold shell. Please. Nice. Okay. As you can see, the depression is not depression. The gun dispersion isn't the greatest, and most of the times you're gonna find it very, very hard to get damage from distance because of how it just takes ages for your aim circle to fully, you know, aim in. And I don't know, I just feel like it is like a perk of this tank, but at the same time it's not necessarily a weakness, because from what you've seen, I have gotten shells out that are very, very nice on that M4 Yo, I think, is that what it's called? Yeah, on that M4 Yo. And although we didn't deal as much damage as we dealt in the last game, I think this game still demonstrated, you know, how well this tank can perform. I just feel like the Skoda is just a very, very good tank, and we'll go on to the next battle. So in the last and final game, we are on Normandy, and unfortunately we're playing against, well, only two tier 9s on their teams. And the Yak Tiger is probably the only tier 9 that I'm worried about. The T54, I'm not really too bothered. And let's see, okay, so we've got an ST1 and a Contracaro Mark II for our tier 9s. I think we win in terms of our tier 9s because of how the T54 isn't really that good of a tank. And okay, this sneaky little bourrasque is trying to get some early shots in. I'm not going to allow that because that tank is very, very annoying to play against. It's like a mini, you know, what's the name of that tank in tier 10? Ah, the TVP. It's like a mini TVP in tier 8. I just hate playing against TVPs and just clippers like that in general. I've got the T54 here who's doing the average 50% maneuver, you know, just shooting without aiming. Nice shot by our Action 10. And let's see whether I can get a shell in. Okay, unfortunately no, but it seems like our Action 10 is doing a very, very good job holding against the T54. I would like to get a shell into the Effacé. Don't block me, please. Nice 450. Exactly our average damage, I think. Alright. What I'm going to do now is just leave the Action 10, I think. The Action 10 is probably smart enough not to poke it any further because of how it's at like very, very low HP. I'm just going to rotate out and hopefully help out my teammates on this side of the map. And it seems like the Effacé isn't paying attention, and we get a very, very lucky snap into the Effacé. I'll take that, and I think what I'm going to do here is just get out of this low dish area as soon as possible. I guess we do take a shot for, you know, that insane on the move shot onto him, but it is what it is. And it seems like the bourrasque is, well, he made an oopsies and he's at 7 HP. Let's see whether we can get an HE shell into him and finish him off. Let's just take our time and aim. There we go. Nice. 2-0. So this game is going very, very well. I'm not sure where the Yak Tiger is, but I'm assuming that Yak Tiger is probably here, you know, in that bush position at the very back of the map. And it seems like our Action 10 is in a very, very bad position. And okay, never mind. He's taken care of. And let's see whether that Yak Tiger would like to poke me. I think he will. Let's just aim in. Oh, bad shot by me. I should have just waited. I mean, I knew that I was going to take a shot because of how ridiculous that Yak Tiger is in terms of its DPM. But oh well, we've got 1900 health, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, let's get a nice shot into the IS-5, tracking him in the process. And let's see. So the Yak Panther is probably going to get a shell into me. Okay, he has a very, very weird angle on me. Okay, so we're not going to take a shot. I'm going to shoot the IS-5. Yeah, I was about to say, let me choose this tank. Okay, let's get an HE in. Never mind. But we still got a very, very nice roll of 508. And okay, let's move over here and try and maybe get one shot into the Gag Tiger. I don't think we're going to get any more damage out in this battle because of how I played a bit too passive. And I think I went to not the best position in the world. And yeah, it seems like this is going to be it for today's game. Maybe I'll be able to get a shell in. That's interesting. I mean, this game was going to be a win, judging by how the enemy team was playing quite poorly right off the bat, and so it didn't really matter how well I played. If I went with my heavies and taken some shots for them, I probably would have gotten a lot more damage on the Effacé, onto the bourrasque who flanked towards that side. Overall, I'd say I played decent, not the best, but it is what it is. I'll take a victory any time of the day. And this is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed me showcasing the Skoda T56, one of my favorite tanks in tier 8 to play, and if the Skoda T56 comes back into the store, definitely buy it, because I think the last time that it came back, it was at around 8,500 gold or something like that. As long as it's not above 12k, definitely go and get the tank, because it's a very, very solid tank. And if you're interested in playing the Czechoslovakian tech tree heavy tanks, this tank will give you a very, very good idea. In the third and final battle, I didn't play the best, but at the same time, we still came out with a victory and we still got some decent shells in. And although I wasn't able to showcase the amazing HE capabilities that this tank has, oh well, it is what it is, and I think you guys still get the idea. Anyway, thank you for watching until the very end. Like and subscribe if you're new, because it really, really helps me out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!